Thinking of moving to Surrey? Before you make the move, there are some critical things you need to know so that you avoid the pitfall of losing thousands of dollars, put your family's safety at risk, or even worse, regret making Surrey as your home. Choosing the right neighborhood is going to be critical, and if you do not do your research, you may end up in a neighborhood which is polar opposite to your family's requirements and your personality. Stay with me because in this video, I'm going to try and cover everything that you need to know before you make your move to Surrey or make Surrey your next home. Hi, my name is Roshan Victor. I am a local realtor here in the Fraser Valley, and Surrey is home to me. If you're looking at making Surrey or anywhere in the Fraser Valley your home, planning to move here for work or any other reason, I've helped families just like yourself navigate through this market, figure out their requirements, match them to the right neighborhoods, and get them a good deal in the process. There's a link in the description below to book a time directly into my calendar. Looking forward to chatting with you all about your requirements. Alright, let's address something which comes up often when we talk about Surrey. That's Surrey's reputation and its association with crime. It is a complex problem, agreed. However, Surrey has been badly labeled as the crime capital or the most dangerous city to live in. Well, let's put it into perspective then. There is something called the Crime Severity Index, which measures the severity of the crime and the volume of the crime together. Now, Surrey's recent severity index was 105. When you compare it to Kelowna, which is at 141, and Red Deer, Alberta, which is 176, it is not that significant. However, compared to other cities in Canada, it is definitely a little bit more elevated. Surrey, unfortunately, has to deal with two aspects. One is the reality aspect of it, and one is the perception aspect of it. The perception is everybody who talks about Surrey talks with a negative connotation, saying, oh, the crime in Surrey is higher. Whereas the reality is somebody who lives in Vancouver and is seen East Vancouver, where you have homelessness, you have crime, that's nothing compared to what Surrey has at the moment. A simple example, my mother-in-law was recently here for a couple of months, and when we said we live in Surrey, she was a little more skeptical coming from India because the Indian media has portrayed Surrey as the hub of activities. However, when she came over here, she saw this wonderful place, walking around on afternoon walks or in the evenings, going to restaurants, going everywhere else. She comes to a conclusion that, hey, Surrey is not that bad. We had this conversation over a cup of tea, and she was like, it is not that bad. I always had this perception because of the media and the hype in the media that Surrey is not the most safest place to be, whereas it's totally safe. And I'm being a realtor, I'm not saying that there are not areas that are not safe. There are areas that are unsafe, and which even I sometimes do not like to go in certain hours of the day. But apart from that, certain areas are really, really good. Let's take some examples. Fleetwood, Cloverdale, Clayton. These are nicer areas. South Surrey, these are nicer areas. You have the Surrey Central area where you have a little bit of homelessness, but not that much of security issues. Another thing, when we talk about crime, most of the crime which is associated in Surrey are property or theft related crimes. So that is one thing which the local government is very actively pursuing and working towards resolving. Overall conclusion, yes, if there are certain areas, if you avoid them and you work with somebody who knows of those areas, then you are absolutely fine. If not, then you may end up in an area which you may not be happy actually living in. Now let's jump into the neighborhoods. There are 6 distinct neighborhoods in Surrey: Whalley, Newton, Fleetwood, Guildford, Cloverdale, and South Surrey. Each one of them has its own unique attraction and their own deterrents. Whalley serves as Surrey's urban hub, encompassing the city center. There are libraries. It is very well connected to the rest of the mainland through the SkyTrain station. You have 4 SkyTrain stations. You have Scott Road, you have Gateway Station, you have Surrey Central, and King George Hub. And all around this SkyTrain line, you have high rises and amazing connectivity throughout. Whether it is buses or SkyTrains, You are very well connected to rest of the mainland from Wally itself. However, there are certain parts of Gateway and Wally which you would like to avoid, as there is a little bit of a homelessness, and the government is working tirelessly of regentrifying the whole area. There are approximately around 18 to 28 more towers being planned for the place, which is coming up in the near future. So if you are a new immigrant or looking at renting a property, that will be a best bet because it gives you good connectivity to everywhere around the lower mainland, and because of the number of high rises which are already there, the option of getting a rental is higher. Now let's talk about Newton. Newton is Surrey's largest and most culturally diverse neighborhood. It's known for its vibrant South Asian culture. There are ethnic pockets in Newton which are very skewed towards one ethnicity compared to the others. However, if you are of South Asian descent, like myself from India, and you want anything from India, you have Payal Business Center, and in and around that area, you will get anything and everything that you require, which you miss out from your culture or in India. Also, there's a lot of Fijian influence also in Newton. One of the things which I love Newton for is the restaurants, because I'm a foodie and the restaurants in Newton are pretty amazing. One competing with the other, and the level keeps going higher and higher. So Newton is very famous for its restaurants. Newton is very famous for its cultural diversity. There are major pockets of ethnic domination of certain areas of Newton, and depending on which ethnicity you're from, you would choose to live in them or be away from them. Now let's talk about Guildford as an area. Guildford area and all the development around it is centered around Guildford Town Centre, which is a shopping mall, which is one of the largest shopping malls in the area itself. Around 104 and 152 is where the shopping mall is located, and in and around it there are a lot of residential options, and there are many more being built. A recent news that there is a 36-story high-rise is in its third reading and is going to be approved. There's a lot more development now that is moving towards Guildford, and the distance between Guildford and Wally is barely 10 to 12 minutes of drive. So this is one area which I see with a lot of future growth potential and a wonderful area to live in if you have your own car. Now to one of my three favorite areas of Surrey, Fleetwood. It is the perfect blend of urbanization with perfect mix of detached homes, townhouses, and now with Dawson and Sawyer building Fleetwood 2 Village, condos as well. It is an amazing area to live in because it has good schools, it has good connectivity in and around, whether you want to go to White Rock or you want to go to Surrey Central or you want to go to Langley, whichever place you want, it is pretty much central to everything. There's a lot of development which is happening. There is going to be the SkyTrain extension which comes into Fleetwood. It's going to have its own SkyTrain station. So that is a positive. And if you are looking at actually buying a property, Fleetwood is a very good option. However, for rentals, you may get basement suites which are available for rent, or townhouses that are available for rent, as the inventory of condos has just now has come into picture, and that is something which could be explored if you are looking at renting in this area. But overall, good schools, good area to live in, and very good people around, and it's very culturally very diverse. Now let's talk about Cloverdale. I live in Cloverdale. I live in the southwest side of it, which is called West Cloverdale. It is a little more older part of town because it was built around 15 to 20 years ago. It has a very small town charm. It has its own downtown with really good farm to table restaurants, a good vibe. There are certain parts of Cloverdale which are going to go into redevelopment, which is a great thing for the area as certain sections are pretty old. One of the things I love about Cloverdale is the Cloverdale Rodeo and Country Fair, which happens every summer and attracts a lot of people to Cloverdale on the fairgrounds. Cloverdale is also going to get its own hospital, which is under construction at this time, which is great news for people in and around this area. When we talk about inventories in Cloverdale, you will see a lot more townhouses and detached homes as inventory and very limited condos. Clayton is a newer part of Cloverdale which is being developed. That's where you have a few condos, and there is a lot more development happening on that end, which is on the north of the Fraser. Overall, Cloverdale is very, very multicultural, very welcoming. People have been in this area for a long time, and generally people don't like to move out of this area. Now let's talk about the most affluent part of Surrey, which is called South Surrey. The property prices out here are above average when compared to the rest of Surrey. Couple of reasons why. It is very picturesque, very close to the Pacific Ocean. Overall, you see million-dollar homes out here which have stunning views. The community as its whole is very, very affluent. There is a lot more inventory of detached homes. Secondly is townhouses, and condos are minimal. Now we are seeing a lot more condos being built in the area, which is a good sign. However, if you are looking at great neighborhoods to live in within South Surrey, you can explore Crescent Beach, Ocean Park, Morgan Creek. All are great areas. If you are looking at moving into Surrey and making it a home, and you have that affluent status which you want an area which matches your lifestyle, this is the area that you would be looking into. It's very difficult to pack in all the information pertaining to different areas in this one particular video. So if you are looking for specific information on any of these areas, or want to know how do you match your lifestyle to these areas, want to book a call with me, the link is in the description below. Click the link below. Let's chat about what your requirements are and match you to the right area with the right budget, so that you can save time and money in doing all of that research. Now that we have covered the stigma around Surrey, explored the neighborhoods, let's now talk about the connectivity, because that's the most important part. Surrey is a commuter city. Public transport is improving as the days go by. Most of the public transport has a 15 to 20 minute wait on different routes. However, if you are coming into the city and you want to be highly connected to everywhere through public transport, then Wally will be your best bet. And Surrey City Centre is the area that you need to be looking at. However, if you can look at having vehicle as an option, then you could look at different areas of Surrey depending on your budget and your lifestyle. There is some good news out here, because Surrey is expanding. The SkyTrain is being expanded from Surrey to Langley, and that goes all across the Fraser. 8 total stops from King George Station right up to Langley. They are Green Timber Station, 152nd Station, Street Station, Fleetwood Station, Bakerview Station, which is on 166, Hillcrest, which is on 184, Clayton Station, which is on 190, Willowbrook Station, which is at 196, and Langley City Centre Station, which is on 203. All of that Fraser area is going to be redeveloped, understanding that there is new SkyTrain stations coming in, and there is going to be a lot more density coming to that area. However, overall, the transportation and connectivity of Surrey is going to improve hopefully by 2029 to 2033, because by 29 is when they expect the project for the SkyTrain extension to be completed. Surrey right now, depending on which area you are in, example, if you are in North Surrey, it is very difficult. You have to have a car, otherwise our public transport is minimalistic. Whereas when you come to Cloverdale, where I live, I have a bus stop right across my street, which takes you straight into Surrey Central. It takes you around 35 to 40 minutes. However, you're there. And then from Surrey Central, you can go wherever you would like to go. So just to wrap it up, do not go by what people or the media speaks about Surrey, because yes, like any other city, there are areas which you need to avoid and which have crime. And as long as you do that, you're totally fine. If you are somebody who has to have access to public transport, then you're better off living in the Wally and Surrey Central area, as that has the maximum connectivity to wherever you would like to go in the Lower Mainland or to Vancouver. If you're somebody who is affluent and wants a neighborhood which matches your lifestyle, then South Surrey is something which you should explore, as that would be the best bet for you. And if you're someone like myself who is somewhere in between, then the options available to you are Fleetwood, Cloverdale, Clayton. This is the area where you could be in and around in 20-25 minutes to any destination that you want to in and around the Lower Mainland. So to sum it up, if you are looking at getting into the market or want more information on how to navigate your home buying process or looking at upgrading? Click the link below. Let's have a chat. I've helped families just like yourself settle, make the right decision with the right area matched to your personality, your requirements, whether it's a school district or any other requirement that you may have. So feel free to reach out. My link is in the description below to book a time with me. And until the next video, have a wonderful day.